Contact boxing tonight to be here with George Liddard. George, looking forward to headlining at the York Hall, local, a classic venue, and quite a step up an opponent by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I'm excited. Look, never boxed at York Hall, so to get to come here and headline it for the first time, it takes some doing. So, and like you say, yeah, step up an opponent. We've got an Italian now, 29 wins, 2 losses. So, listen, 16 knockout. He's coming to the table to beat me, but at the end of the day, he's going to get dropped like the rest of them.
Yeah, we were talking about it there at the press conference. You'd like to go the traditional route, just like your gym mate behind you. You're both sort of, I guess, racing to see who can get to each position first. Um, but yeah, I mean, step up after what is it? Just a half a dozen fights.
This is my 10th now.
Was it
So
10?
yeah,
Okay.
listen, no one else 10 fights is fighting someone like that. I'm not bothered about who it is. I'll fight anyone. It doesn't bother me. Titles or not, I'll fight any man. I wanted to go the traditional route. Wanted to win the southern area. Was mandatory for that. No one wanted to fight me. Not a single person I could get to fight me. So what can I do? Apart from move forward. Hopefully now we can try and get the English sorted. Uh, Early next year, I think obviously the Jordan Reynolds fight. Not looking past Friday because I must win this fight. But Jordan Reynolds fight, English title final eliminator, puts me one step closer to the English, and hopefully someone fights me for that. So yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating this game. I want to fight for belts. I want to fight for these titles, but if you can't get an opponent to fight for one, what can you do? I'm gonna just keep beating whoever they put in front of me. Keep stepping up and beating people that they're hard records to fight early on, but it doesn't bother me.
Absolutely. As I was saying to Jimmy, the middleweight division's hot in the UK right now, never mind the world. The Jordan Reynolds fight, that is an absolute banger between if you two do fight. Obviously, we don't know what Denzel's plans are. I imagine even Linus Adobe is the English champ. I think you against Jordan is worth a title, not just an eliminator. Did you see his fight against Joel? That was a banger.
Haven't yet. When the fight gets made, obviously I'll be having a little watch of that. But listen, it doesn't bother me. Jordan's got a good name, and I've sparred with him many times. He's a good fella. But when the time comes, it's business, and I'll get the job done. So yeah, I think it could be worthy of an English title. To be honest, I don't know what happens obviously with the English title, but I think that's worthy of the English title itself. But what can you do? I just fight whoever's put in front of me, like I say, and keep winning, and eventually I've got to end up with some belts around me, right?
I've spoke to Joel as well. He said you did come across each other in the amateurs. Do you remember that?
Never boxed. No, we never boxed. Never had a fight. We sparred a few times. I don't even know if we sparred as amateurs, to be honest. I think we only really sparred as we've been pros. We've always known of each other. Always. I think Joel's often been the weight above me. We was in the same at the seniors, but he was on the other side of the bracket. So he lost in the semis. I lost in the semis, but in our own side. So yeah, it's never happened yet. Obviously, he's coming off a loss of Jordan Reynolds. So yeah, look, that fight doesn't make sense right now. Obviously, I go and beat Jordan, so doesn't make sense right now. But I'm sure, look, if he gets himself into a good position sometime down the line for a title, we can make that happen.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, Joel's a good fella as well. So it's business, you know what I'm saying?
You're all good lads and all good fighters. So
Yeah.
I was saying to Jimmy as well. Turkey, I'll talking about tournaments for prospects.
I just see that. I'll put my name in the hat for that already. So if you're listening, if anyone's listening that can make that happen, put me in that tournament. I'm telling you, I come out number one at 160. No one beats me at 160. I'm the man at 160. So under 10 fights, I'll be 10-0 after this fight. Make that happen. I'll be in that tournament and I'll come out victorious.
I'd love to hear it. So you said there on the press conference that you think you're only a couple of fights away from British level.
100%.
I mean, the level, I'd say there's about half a dozen guys below, say, Hunter and Denzel who are like at world title level now. You've got Brad Forbes who just lost to Denzel. You've got Nathan Heaney, Tyler Denny, Adofia, Troy Williams. Yeah, do you really think in a couple of fights? I mean, some of them guys
100%.
battle hard.
100%. Doesn't bother me how battle hardened they are. They've not been in with a man like me. When the time comes, I'll show everyone. I'll show everyone. So I want to keep being in these fights that people think, "God, this is a big step up for him." Like this fight, but I'll prove time and time again I'm skilled. I'm levels above, natural talent, and I graft. I work harder than anyone. And listen, I'm excited. These fights, people say too soon. It's not too soon. It's only too soon if you can't comprehend it. I've already seen what's going to happen Friday night. I've already seen what's going to happen in these planned out fights. I come out victorious every time. So, yeah, bring any of them. Honestly, any comers. I'll fight any man.
And is Tony, is he fully on board? Obviously, you discussed
Yeah.
with him, and he's
Tony sees. I'm sure Tony sees my potential. He wouldn't put me in these fights if he didn't think I'd come out victorious at the end of the day and put on a good account for myself. So, I've got all faith that Tony believes in me. And Tony will only put me in fights at the right time. And like we've said, I think we're only a couple of fights now away from this British title level. So I'm excited to get cracking. And let's bring these big domestic fights. I want to bring big domestic fights to Britain. And I'm looking forward to doing that.
wow. Starting with Friday, have you sold many tickets?
Yeah, we've got a good few hundred then in the York Hall that night. We've got some stars coming as well. Some former ex-West Ham legends. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Putting on a show for everyone.
Well, as a Tottenham man, never been a fan of the Hammers. However, there's one player who I used to model myself on in my playing days.
Who's that?
Poirier.
Poirier.
Yeah.
Really?
Frenchman.
Payet, yeah. Dimitri Payet,
He
yeah.
was the player that
Great player.
stylistically I was most
To be honest, one of my favourite West Ham players ever as well as it happens. Obviously, listen, behind a few, there's a few in front of him, but he was one of my favourite West Ham players, to be fair. The set pieces, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Some of the free kicks you see him bang in, ridiculous. So, big fan of him.
He also injured Ronaldo in the European Cup
Did he?
final. So Ronaldo didn't have the benefit of being on the pitch. So that's always a bonus. But yeah. Okay. Well, we'll look out for those stars with interest.
100%. Keep your eyes open.
You get West Ham behind you. The dream's got to be a world title fight at the.
Everyone check the socials at 2 p.m. West Ham, they're behind me. They've got my back and they support me, and I can't thank them enough for that. So, listen, all I've got to do is keep winning, and one day I can guarantee you it will happen. I will sell out London Stadium. When you've got the backing of West Ham, how can you not? All I've got to do is keep my end of the deal and keep winning. But watch it happen.
That's a fantastic, great East End of Essex have always had that
100%.
great boxing tradition. So,
I'm excited. Big things are coming.
I'm super excited.
Oh, man.
All right, George. Yeah, look forward to Friday night. I'll speak to you after.
Great to see you, mate.